is GeroTheHero, and this is my review of Orange, episode 11. At the beginning of the episode, they're sharing pictures from the meet and the event, and it's funny because Naho picks a picture of Kakeru smiling, and Kakeru kind of doesn't like it. In the meantime, Kakeru picks Naho in the cheerleading outfit, and of course Naho doesn't want him to get that one, and she kind of gets embarrassed. So following this, we get a scene from the future, and it's interesting because we still don't see Kakeru in the future because that explanation earlier that it's a parallel universe. It'll be interesting to see what becomes of that. We find out from the discussion in the car that Sua kind of feels regret that he stole away Naho from Kakeru, and he almost wants to say that, he would have changed things. But everybody else feels like that's not the case. So in the present, we find out that Sua plans not to go to the New Year's meetup because of what the letter says, that normally he would have consoled Naho after a little fight that Kakeru and Naho have, and that's what leads to Sua and Naho getting married. So he doesn't want to repeat this. He wants Kakeru and Naho to stay together, which I thought was pretty admirable, considering that in the future he is married and has a kid. I've talked about this in previous episodes, but that he keeps this resolve despite what he knows. So we find out that Kakeru hasn't met with the others during Christmas Eve because his grandmother gets sick, and he's kind of reverting to his old ways of fearing that he's going to lose his grandma now, because he feels like events are repeating themselves. His mother went to the hospital and then she died, so he feels like it's going to happen again. So that's why he doesn't show up. We find out that the others want Sua to confess his feelings, but Sua doesn't believe he should. And it's interesting because Nagata feels like they shouldn't change the future, but it contradicts what they've already done. It's almost like he's having regrets about that. And it kind of reminds me of the previous episode where Nagata at first didn't want to give up the information about Naho's injury. So you almost feel like Nagata doesn't want to change the future. So eventually Kakeru and Naho are alone together, and Kakeru explains that he feels like if he loses his grandmother, he will be alone. And it's kind of ignoring the fact that he still has his friends. So let's say that did happen. I would be pretty sure that his friends would work out something. Maybe Sua's family would take him in, or any of the other friends probably would have took him in. But it's like he's still reverting to this feeling of, he's worried about being alone. He kind of remembers the event of when he decided to go with his friends instead of going with his mother, and that's what leads to the suicide of his mom. He gets mad at Naho when she says that his grandmother will be fine, and he asks her, well, how would you know? And of course we know the reason is because of the letters and the fact that in the future scene we see the grandmother still alive. But because of that comment, he kind of loses it and gets angry with her and runs off. So after the scene, Sua finds Naho and consoles her, but decides not to confess his feelings. He even makes a comment that the rest of them will probably get angry with him because of that decision. So Naho, while chasing after Kakeru, tries to call him, and when Kakeru sees that she's calling him, he gets upset again and throws his phone down. So now there's no way to contact him. So it ends with Naho trying to chase after him. And I kind of got upset with how Kakeru is treating Naho. If he really likes her, he would have forgave her or not reacted that strongly. She was just trying to be nice, and she couldn't really reveal what's going on with the letters. I almost kind of wish she would have, but I don't know how that would have affected the future. Um, it'll be interesting to see what happens if this is the last episode in the next one. Um, I still wonder if they're going to show like another scene in the future, um, if Kaku's going to actually be saved or not. I mean, he could, for all we know, commit suicide still. Um, and we still don't know what's going to happen between Sua and Naho. If um, if Naho and Kaku are going to resolve things and get back together, or is Kaku going to kill himself, like I said, or is he just going to be mad with her for the rest of their lives, or for a good portion? I mean, I don't think he would be upset with her forever, but maybe they just don't get together. Um, it'll be interesting how they wrap this up. But like always, I'm very interested in seeing what happens in this last episode. But like always, comment below, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter, and I will see you next time.